Well, good evening, folks. Welcome back to the farm. It's, I'd love to tell you it's a beautiful day. Weather's nice, but I mean, you can see the air is a little brown. I know we're going to town. Anyways, as you can hear, hurry up, Dad, hurry up.
Mommy.
Because fall fair
Mommy.
parade. Yeah, we won't forget, Mom. It's okay. Fall fair parade we're going to go to in Beaver Lodge today. See if we can catch some candy. Maybe see some cool old trucks. You know, that kind of thing. On the way home after work, I did stop over at Emerson Trail Building Supply. Picked up 4 pressure-treated 6x6s, 20 feet long. That's $450 worth of lumber. Right there, 4 pieces of wood. That's the skids for the grain bin cabin, so it better work. You got some balloons? They all tied up? There's a whole bunch up there too. You want these ones?
Yeah.
There you go, honey. Quick, grab it. You want the big one? Well, good morning, folks. The day went a little bit sideways yesterday afternoon, or yesterday evening. We went to town, went to the parade, got about halfway through the parade, tones drop, and I had to run down the street and catch up with a fire truck and go put out a fire. So, never got to end the video, never got to, yeah, anyways, it was kind of good. Kids got to go watch an outdoor movie at the museum. And then today we're gonna run up to the cabin. I got those 6x6s on the trailer there, and we're gonna put the skids underneath the floor. Hopefully get the floor on and then decked. And if we don't get anything else done today, that'll be a pretty good day in and of itself. Still pretty heavily smoky around here today. That's not from what we had to deal with there last night. That's from the Thunder Creek fire just across the BC border. I see they shut Highway 52 down, the Heritage Highway, shut that down there yesterday. So hopefully everybody's okay out that way. Just got to find some buckets, top up the big feeder for the turkeys, so they'll be good for a few days before we head out here. Just in the shop here now, looking for stuff. My wife's going to tell me, well, you need to put stuff away when you're done with it. The problem is here's the thing. When I'm done with a project, I will put stuff away. Absolutely, I will. But 99% of the projects that I work on get to that 75 to 90% completion, and then it's good enough, right? It's good enough to make it run. I never actually seem to do the finishing work on a thing. So then tools and odds and ends or whatever end up kind of left where that project got left. So I'm looking for this nail gun so we can nail the deck boards on with the air nailer, because that would just be so much quicker than, you know, individual deck screws. That'd be so painful to do on a 16x16. If not for what we're doing, right? Nails is good enough. But I haven't used the air nailer since we built the barn. So it might be out in there, but I might have used it out in the kids' playhouse for another little project I was doing right around the same time. I gotta go for a walk and go see if I can find this thing. We might not be going anywhere after all. I just watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lambs just walk casually into our front yard. Way over there behind the playhouse. That's not cool, guys. That's not cool at all. So this fence line right here is one that I recently just installed. I'm not sure whether they're getting out here or if they're still hopping over. Maybe they're able to hop over that 3-foot tall electric fence. But there's a barbed wire fence behind that might be enough of a discouragement. I'm hoping I can find a spot where they've been pushing up on the page wire and getting out underneath here. And that's a fairly simple fix. But I got 3 ewes in amongst these few lambs that are routinely training other lambs to leave the fence line. Edith, gonna go down. Soup factory. Irene, she drops a good lamb. That'll be a shame to see her go, but can't have that. And then old split ear, old Susan over there. She's gonna be first on the truck. The thing that I don't get is when they get out, like all the gates are open, right? Except for where the sheep are. So if the sheep get out of wherever they're at, they've got access to the whole farm. 143 acres. Why do they got to come up to the yard site? Like, why do they got to come up there and chew on lilac bushes and come down here where it's nice and green and lush in some spots? Chew on that stuff. Come up in here in the creek where the grass is as tall as their backs. No, gotta come lick up some stuff in the garden. Now the problem we got with these ewes is not only are they getting out, but they're not. The three of them are not boss ewes. And they're not really, I mean, they're following their gut, but they don't follow a bucket of grain as well as, you know, independently. If you just went over there with a bucket of grain, would they follow you wherever you wanted to go? No, they might go wherever the luscious green grass is, that kind of thing, right? But old split ear over there, her big problem is she has no idea where she needs to be or wants to be, or, you know, it changes by the second. And so if you try to put pressure on her and get her to like direct her in a specific area, she weaves and bobs and weaves and bobs and weaves and bobs. And then what ends up happening, it's like the cue ball hitting on a pool table and everybody just scatters. And there's just not enough directions that the human body can possibly run. All right, so the sheep are penned up. Come up here, we brought the little pony up last night, put her in a round pen. And I was like, man, I can't believe how much water she drank. It was almost empty. So we're going to fill it up today, and look what we've seen. She's not drinking that much water at all. There's a crack that I previously fixed in the old water trough there that is obviously no longer fixed. So we got one of those in behind the shop. Yeah, I'll get you out, Finn. I got one of those in behind the shop that's more like a rubberized plastic and very durable. I got these, I got one like that, and then there's another one that I got from PV Mart, and it's a harder plastic. And you can imagine like an animal bumps it or whatever when it's cooler. Just cracks, and then it's done. And those things are not cheap. They're like, I'm pretty sure that was like over $100. So that's frustrating. But anyways, horse has got enough water for today. I think when we get back this evening, I'll have to dump it out, dry it out, and see if it can't do a little bit more plastic welding. All right, so I'm back out in Rio Grande. We did go out to the cabin. Did start building on the floor. Unfortunately, I don't know if a generator doesn't have enough power to turn the air compressor over, or if that little air compressor is just kaput. I was having problems with that little air compressor. That's why I was able to buy an air compressor for my wife for, it was her anniversary or her birthday or something she was mad at me about anyways, because it wasn't appropriate for the event. But anyways, I bought her an air compressor. And I thought, I'll just grab that little one, because it seemed like it might be working a little bit. So it was not working at all. So got turned around on that deal. But we did get the floor onto the 6x6s and secured down. We just didn't get the decking put on. So I'm in the stock trailer here now. These are the square bales we made the other day. They're actually pretty nice alfalfa second cut bales. You can see lots of the fluff that comes off of them though. That's the problem with that late season second cut alfalfa when it's dry. They get a little crispy and lots of stuff tends to fall out or fall off of them. But anyway, I probably could haul them home in this big thing, but and I gotta ferry trucks back and forth and get a ride home and all that nonsense shenanigans. And we don't got enough room for car seats and stuff because that's just a single cab. So I'll just ferry these 30 bales out quick and throw them on the flat deck and strap them down and haul them home. Well, I made it back home here now with my, wasn't 35 and it wasn't 30. Both me and the wife were both wrong. It was 33 bales. I think a couple times that we were troubleshooting, repairing the baler, might have accidentally flicked the old bale counter. But anyways, I'm gonna get those put in the barn. I got a bag of grain right in the doorway, of course. So I gotta fire up the big old International, get that thing hauled out of there so I can back the trailer in and get them stacked up. On the way home, I stopped in Beaver Lodge grab a jug of milk from the IGA, and I was walking across the parking lot. My phone rings, and I didn't recognize the number, but I mean, I get, just my line of work, I get phone calls from all over the place, right? So I answer the phone, and there's this fella on there, wanted to know where all this effing smoke was coming from. So as you can see over that way, it's kind of clearing up, right? But if you look away down to the south and around to the west, it's greasy thick, right? So I said, oh yeah, that's all coming from that Thunder Creek fire across the BC border out towards Bear Hole Lake. And he's like, I don't think so. I think it's fake smoke. I think this is population control. I think this is the New World Order. That smoke gets switched on and switched off, just like that stuff that they're dropping from them airplanes. Chemicals are all just trying to kill people. And I was like, oh boy, I've got a raving lunatic on the phone. And I'm not the right person to talk to about that. I ain't got no time for that. You know, maybe sit me down one night over a glass of whiskey or whatever, and we'll talk about that. We'll compare notes. But I got a jug of milk to get, and I got chores to get done. I didn't have 5 seconds for that fella. So I was like, yeah, I think you got the wrong number, which obviously he did, and just went about my day, and I hung up the phone on him. That was that. But raving lunatic was the thought that came to my mind. Well, I got the old girl fired up here. Get that grain bag hoisted out in absolutely no time. Alright, well that's bales unloaded. I'm gonna go put the tractor back. That might be the last chore for the day. So I'm gonna let you go for now. Hope you're having a fantastic evening.